evening, Elizabeth Njoroge.
Hi, everyone, and thank you for having me on the show, Ellie.
Good evening, Ellie, and thank you for having me today. How are you?
I'm good. I'm told you have a different hat tonight. You are a business analyst. What a
Well,
transformation.
we wear a lot of hats, and there are people who just know me for being the psychologist and the responding to life, but they actually don't know that I actually have a whole degree in economics and business administration, business management, and currently pursuing a master's in the same. So today I am not the psychologist. I am not responding to life. Today I'm Victoria and Katha, and we're talking finance, money, and power. Sorry, money, power, and success.
Madam Elizabeth, where are you and why are you here tonight?
So, I'm in Hamburg, Germany. That's where I live, and I'm here tonight because I want to talk about matters that deals with money, everything to do with success, and I think also to talk a little bit on why a lot of young people are suffering something we call identity crisis.
And this is a word I'd like for you to define for us. What exactly is success in the perception of young people?
I think what young people or the millennials think is success. I think they think success is the material things that you acquire through life. A lot of people are working hard, or they envy people who have the cars, who have the Gucci bags, who have the houses. That is what they term as success. And for me, I believe success is completely different. Success should be different from person to person, because what means success, what is success to me might be definitely different to another person. And this is why we need to discuss, today's matter today to define what exactly is success and what is success to every person. Are you defining success based on what everyone else defines success, or have you defined what is success on your own terms as a person?
As we try to figure out that question, I have a short clip for you here, and immediately I will ask Victoria to join us.
Buda. Yaani kanisa ametuwekea tu jaba mbaya juu tumesota tu yani.
Bro, nilikwambia kijana. Hebu wana, hiyo ran Safaricom bro. Usichukua maini ya ule boys wa pale down.
Hapana bro.
Bro kijana na mali. Embu direct Buda. Achana ile ambere bro.
Ndio mimi nakwambia hii Kenya kama una pesa unachukiwa na kila mtu.
We, nikuulize. Ule msupa rada.
Nani?
Mka.
Kaka. Kama bana ilibidi tuachane bana.
Niliona, nilijua tu.
Kala alienda majuu bana, sasa mimi demo wa majuu, sasa tutaambiana nini bro?
Ngoja.
Mimi niko tu hapa base.
Alienda majuu ama alirefika kula kwa juu?
Sasa wewe umeanza kuongea mbaya. Alienda majuu bro.
Wallahi bro.
Buda dem sasa ameomoka mbaya.
Sasa ni momoki.
Buda. Sasa huyu ni msichana tu, passport yake imestampiwa bro.
Nilikwambia usiachane na umfupa bro. Sasa ungekuwa pia unatafuta kabisa hivi.
Sasa bro, shida sasa ni yeye alishaomoka bro. Yeye usikia kwa majuu.
Baada yako state gani?
Mimi sijui, na najua tu alipanda ndege. Kwa majuu bro.
Sasa shikia kwa UG bro, afadhali.
Kwa majuu bro. Alafu hata zile mapicha na post.
Kwa ice
kona domba haya.
kwa snow.
Mimi naona juanga mtu akishaanza kuvaa zile makoti ziko na manyoya zile. Hapo anatembea kwa ice nini na mascarf. Bro, sasa hata naanza aje kumtext.
Kidogo ako na iPhone pale.
Kidogo ndio ako na iPhone pale mwanangu.
Hapo chorea, lakini bro. Lakini kushia maji bro si kuomoka.
Hata niliona nilianza tu kufeel hata kizungu yangu ni kama kuna vile tu simuongeleshi vile inafaa.
You know, me and technology, it's like I'm 90 years old, but well, I'm here now. And, you've already said it, but I'm still going to say it. Today we're talking about, money, power, and success, and, everything that surrounds the aspect of kuomoka, like Kinakama have said, and what it means when people actually think that you have money, the pressure that comes with having money, and not having it in equal measures, and the myth that you might be having it because you're where Victoria is or where the rest of you are, where I am not. And, the fact that you all could be struggling with stuff, and putting up images, putting up appearances for social media. So it's going to be a beautiful discussion. So join us all the way through. I do not even know what you asked me, but I had to do that bit of my introduction because I missed the introduction. Now, what were you saying, Ellie?
As I was saying, we are now on the subject matter, money, power, and success. And Elizabeth, I'm coming back to you just to help us navigate through this. I think you are very versatile with that language. So you understand the context in which these young people are discussing. And I think the most difficult situation we have is young people imagining that they can do better elsewhere. What do you put into this?
I like the Bible verse that says, as a man thinketh, so he is. So everything begins with your thoughts. It has to begin with your mind. Your mind, the thoughts that you allow every day to go into your mind, you become those thoughts at the end of the day. What a lot of people don't know is that you have never achieved anything in this life that you've never thought of. If you decided, for example, Victoria has said she's pursuing a master's in economics. So for her to do that, she had to first of all think about it. And then from thinking, she takes action. So success doesn't begin from the outside. Success in anything, even making money, begins from the inside. And the inside is from your mind, the thoughts that you allow into your mind. So that is where everything starts.
So does it mean that if I just sit here, the way I'm sitting tonight, and think about money, I'm going to get money? Does it?
So you have to think about it, and then you believe that actually I'm someone who is capable to do a master's degree. And then what do? You go now and start applying the action. But before you apply the action, you have to first of all think about it. So it doesn't begin with success. It begins with, first of all, who you think you are, and who you think you are is what you become.
People tend to imagine that you have to start a business to make it. And some of them will think of employment. What would be your strategy?
I mean, the thing is that we all can't be business owners, to be honest. And one of the things that a lot of people fail to understand is that you can actually climb the corporate ladder and actually get to what you want to get to. Now, one of the things that is very, very important, especially when you don't have a business strategy, is that you need to create one, and also understand that it takes a lot more than just putting in action and just thinking that you can be able to do it. It takes a lot in terms of the capital, the strategy, the financial aspects. It takes so much to get there. One of the things that I usually tell individuals, don't look at your 9-to-5 as if it's something that you should run out of, because again, it's either we cannot all be business owners, or it's not everybody that has the capability to be able to open up a business in whatever they want to do. So a lot of people are trying to run from 9-to-5s, but it's actually the 9-to-5 that can actually be a backbone towards you establishing something that is yours. Now, I'm not saying that having a great business idea is not a problem, because we're all creatives and we can all be able to bring in innovative ideas and so on and so forth. But in employment, take your employment as a backbone towards your business. The money that you're getting, now we're going into other terms such as saving, the money that you're getting, create a strategy that can be able to place you at a point of being able to save for your business and putting in that capital, so that you don't have to depend on loans or debts or so on and so forth, such that you can be able to invest in yourself. I use the 50-30-20 strategy, where I say that I'm gonna everything that I get, 50% goes to utility bills, goes to everything that I have, 30% will go to savings, 20% will go to investment. Or you can do the other way around. Make sure that anyhow that you're living, you have that strategy, because at the end of the day, if you cannot save a certain amount of your income and invest a certain amount of your income, then you're living above your means.
I would like to engage Elizabeth further on this. I mean, I've seen some of your material and you've been talking passionately about when to start saving. But I mean, imagine you're telling me 20, 50, 30, you said, or 20, 30, 50?
I think everyone has their own saving method, yeah? I always say, this is my own method. I always say, whatever money you earn, you have to save at least 10% of the amount of money. So you put 10% aside, and that is your savings. And then what you're left with is 90%. Now, what do you do with this 90%? Because already probably you were used to living, on all your salary. You were used to having a lifestyle that can be able to sustain you with using all your salary. You've already removed 10% of your income. So now you need to work on a budget. You need to remove everything that you are buying that was not so necessary, because I always say there is needs and there is wants. Needs are things that you really need. Actually, you cannot, they're the basics, you cannot live without them. And then we have wants. Wants are the things that you buy, actually you don't, and while you don't necessarily need them. So like when you go out and you don't have a shopping list, and then when you had already planned you're going to get eggs, and then you see actually they brought new rice, and then you take the rice because you want to try the new rice which they do. So at the end of the day, working with a budget helps you to be able to stick to a certain amount of money that you can be able to use every month. So it's you can decide to save 10% or 30%, as long as you can be able to live on a budget with the amount of money that is left.
On the same note, as we talk about it, are we referring to the idea of people coming up with very interesting business idea today, and then tomorrow they have another business idea? Does that also contribute to loss of money, Elizabeth?
Well, first of all, if you come up with a business idea today, why for you to come up with a business idea this year and then next year with another business idea? Well, we have people who are called, this serial killer entrepreneurs, these people who start businesses and then, I don't know, unless you're that kind of a person, then that's okay. But if you're the kind of person that really wants to build a long-term business, because this is what people don't know. You can start a business today and then next year you're making millions. It doesn't happen. It is not, it is someone is not telling, the truth. It doesn't happen like that. Every business that grew, from Amazon, from Tesla, from any other big business that they had a starting point. They started from somewhere, and then they started growing step by step with a vision. They started small with a vision of growing big. But there's no business which started from the top. I don't know of any great business that started from the top. Everything starts from a small idea, the idea that you have. And then as you get into the idea, you start getting more better ideas on how you can be able to scale the business. But you have to start from where you are, and you have to start small and stick with it. Because what people don't also tell you is that it's going to cost you 10 times the amount of money you thought, 10 times the amount of energy you thought, 10 times the amount of time you thought. It's going to cost you at least 10 times. But when you go into business, if you really believe in the idea, first of all, if the idea was yours, it's not like you saw someone else. Maybe a lot of people go into business because someone else went into business. Like Vicky has said, not everyone is called to be an entrepreneur, because a lot of people these days think it's the cool thing to do. This one is an entrepreneur, and I know everyone is a CEO somewhere. Have you met someone who's not a CEO these days? A lot of people think, being an entrepreneur is the cool thing to do. I would say what Vicky has said, that if you are not because not everyone has the mindset or the skills to build a business. But a lot of people could be the best of employee, in terms of they could go up the ladder and become the director or the CEO of the company. So you need, first of all, to ask yourself, why am I going into this business? What is your reason? Are you going into the business because you've seen an idea which you can be able to do much better than the people who are doing that particular business right now? Are you going into the business because you saw someone else did the business and they succeeded, and you think by doing the same, by copying them, you'll also be able to, have the results or the success that they have acquired? That is the wrong way to go. I would say that's totally, completely the wrong way to go. I believe you go into business for two main reasons. One, because you've seen a need in the marketplace because we all go into the Me Too business. It's not, unless you're inventing a new software or a new way of doing things. If you go into a business, the probability that you're going into a Me Too business is very high. So if you're going into a Me Too business, someone else has already done that. A lot of people are doing it. It's either you've seen a need that you can be able to better. You have seen a need that you can be able to provide either much better services or much better products, improved product, or improve the services. Or it's either you've seen a need that you can be able to create. Maybe there is something that is missing in that product or in those services, and you've seen you can be able to create a need so that people can be able to start using that new need. So for you to go into business, first of all, why? The question is, you have to answer this: why am I going into business? Because everyone else is doing it, or because I have an idea that I think I can bring into the marketplace, and it could add value to people's lives, not because it could make you money, because it can add value, because money is the result that you get after you have delivered value to the marketplace.
There are steps towards building a business. You have the idea stage where you have an idea and so on and so forth. The one thing that a lot of people skip is the feasibility test. And feasibility test is huge, going into the market, looking at whether there's demand. And not only that, if there's no demand for your product or your service, then you have to see, does my product or service bring a new idea or something new into the market where there will be demand created? So if there's no demand for it already, you see, what can my product, how is my product or service bringing something innovative into the market space so that there will be demand created for it? This is another place where a lot of people skip. You skip the feasibility test, and then when you get into the business, the marketplace, you realize that, oh, it's there's too much, there's too many competitors, and therefore there's no space for me. Another thing is that when you have competitors, analyze your competitors. What are your competitors doing that you can be able to do different? Now you have this person, you have the phone companies. This is why Apple, Samsung, Huawei are not doing the same thing, but they're all phones. But you have specs in an iPhone, you have specs in a Samsung, you have specs in a Huawei that creates versatility and a different system where people can be able to choose, you know what, I want this because there's this and that and that. So how does your product or service differ from your competitors? And what competitive advantage will you have be ahead of your competitors so that people choose your product or service against your competitors? So these are the things that people skip a lot. And before we go into the next steps, because those are later, let's have Nyanduko say something. Sorry.
So what I'm getting is that you have to do, you have to do the work. You have to get in there and find out what is missing before you take something into the market. Now, what most of you financial advisors do not tell us is that you could do all this work and a business could still take time to pick, could still fail, It does not necessarily mean no. It could fail because of other reasons. You could be robbed. Things could happen, and people think that when you get into a business with a closed mindset, that I'll start today and I want to make a profit by end of year, you're in for a roadshow. I've done a few businesses enough times to tell you that it takes work. It takes a lot of work, a lot of patience. And for a business to actually, keep running, you have to have another source of income that could keep this business going in case you need money. Some of us just get into businesses with all our finances and then it collapses. And then how do I pick myself up?
Allow me to interject and ask you a question. Are you asking me to stop working, to start working, only to work to support? I mean, how does that formula work, if you understand my question?
A business takes time. It is a gradual process. You do not want to get into business today early and want to make a profit tomorrow. Okay? So you'll need to keep this business going. But how are you going to keep it going if the profit is not coming in? But PLC make too many losses in the process of trying to make a business. If it's not working, try something else. I tried selling things. I realized I was using all the products. I realized it was not for me. Tried a food business. Realized that,
You see, discipline is something that is very, very important in terms of business. Always you now start selling mandazis, and by the time they go to the streets to get sold, you've eaten like 50 or 80% of your mandazis.
But how can you sell what you cannot believe in? Everybody must sell a product they believe in.
No, mandazis, you can believe in mandazis early. But the thing is that if you are a glutton and you want to go and sell mandazis because you like mandazis, let me tell you, the people who do this, you love food, yes? You love food, and then you decide, you know what, because I love food, yeah, I'm going to start selling food. But you yourself, you don't have the discipline to keep off of food. That's one thing. So you go, you have somebody who cannot keep up for food. By the time that food even goes to the marketplace, you've already eaten 80%. Now tell me how you're going to make business. It's not because you have bad business,
But
you
you
believe
become
in
the
your
greatest.
business.
You become the greatest consumer of your product. I mean,
Surely, and
can I
then
be
where are you
selling?
getting
How
the
can I be
money?
selling shoes and I'm constantly in flip flops? I do not understand that.
Ellie, would you tell me that you'd wear all your shoes? Imagine now, let's listen to this.
It's
I buy,
advertisement in its own self.
but then that's where you suffer loss. And that's the thing. When you're planning, I have something called an Excel sheet. And if I kid you not, I will not spend beyond my Excel sheet, to be honest. I have a personal Excel sheet, and every finance, every coin that comes in and goes out is in the Excel sheet. Now, that's the thing. At the end of the day, I personally budget. And if it's not in the Excel sheet, if you ask some of my friends who are watching this show, if it's not in the Excel sheet, Victoria will not spend.
Wait.
Am I the person supposed to be looking for you?
Mm-hmm.
You need to talk, you know.
Unampigia simu leo, hashiki simu, kesho hashiki simu, ama labda akishika mnaongea kidogo anakuambia ngoja nifanye nini? Ni receive simu ya mtu mwingine, unaona?
Kama we've agreed on the projects I have and I have my own money. I have no problem yeye kuchip in whatever he has. Kama anataka, si ati I'm forcing him to do that.
Coming from Africa into Europe, people look at you as a not well formed. For example, taking a dessert, taking appetizers, and then taking the main course.
But watu wengi sana ni hiyo nakwambia, they really fake. Like, okay, si ati fake. Picha wana update, mapicha wanaonekana wako poa, so demand home itakuwa too high.
Life beyond borders, against the odds. Nyanduko said she believes in eating her products. That's why she doesn't sell them. So somebody like Nyanduko, can she survive Excel sheet? Nyanduko, kindly engage me. Do you have an Excel sheet on how much you intend to spend or not to spend?
No, Ellie. The fact that I carried all my bags that I was supposed to sell does not mean I do not have an Excel sheet. Okay. I just realized I love bags. So I stopped selling bags. Okay. And I started something else that I knew I can't handle. And that is where the work comes in. That is where, you actually, you call yourself work a small meeting and ask yourself, is this what I want to do really? Do I really want to sell bags and shoes? Because I know I will wear all of them. Okay? And then I realized I have a passion for food. Why not? Why not do something that you love and make money out of it in the process?
Please, Nyanduko, I know you understand food better than I do, because also sometimes genes and area of origin can contribute. But let me engage this lady who loves money and ask her one thing. How then do you raise money and capital for your business, especially now that you are an employee?
A business is not an accident. It's not surprise. It's not something that's happened. It's an idea you've been having. So how do you raise money? There are 3 ways you can be able to raise money. I always say my best or my personal favorite is the third one. The first one is for you to go into debt. You go and take credit from the bank or from any credit institute and then start the business. That's the first way. That is my less favorite way, because once you take credits and then you start paying money for a business that you're not sure whether will succeed, and for a business to, by the way, to start making profits, some businesses can take a long time. So you've already taken credits. There is the stress that comes with building the business. You have to pay back, the money that you took. The business is not working. I don't know, there is Corona hit and you have still to pay back the money and you're not running your business. So that is always my less favorite way. But it is one of the ways that you can raise capital for your business. The second way is always having investors come bring their money. I always say also this is not really a good way. First of all, it's a new idea. You've not tested the idea. You've not used your own money on the business. Now you want other people to come and invest in that business and in the idea that you yourself you've never tested.
I have heard these stories over and over. You have, especially for those of you who have been lucky enough to leave your countries, we saw somebody there saying that somebody left for the Maju and they forgot them because Waliomoka. But the thing is, you hear a lot of phone calls coming through somebody telling you very grand business ideas, and they cannot walk to the bank. I mean, whose money should be risked first, your own or your friends or family? That's a question I need you to address.
Your own. If you really believe in the idea, you should have the audacity, first of all, to put the money that you have invested and you have, and this is why I'm saying that you have saved yourself the money that you have. You know, you should have a certain amount of money. Like I said, a business idea is not a surprise. It's something you've been thinking about. It's something you have been meditating about. So the moment that you decided that you're going to go into that business, that's the moment you could have started asking yourself, okay, how much is it going to cost me? For me to be, even though in the future you'll need investors, you should be able to start with what you have, so that when investors come, you already know which area of the business works. Maybe this is a product that you need to juggle here and there to know what works and what doesn't work, or the customers want. First of all, you are not in business unless you have customers. A business is a business because of the customers that you are serving. If there is no one buying your product, if there is no one buying your services, you're not in business. A business is a business because of the customers. That's something people have to know. It's not because you've started a business. A business is a business because people are spending money on your product or on your services. Without the customers, you're not in business. So that is the second one. My favorite one is when you go into a business and you can be able to charge correctly. Because most of the people, like we said, we go into the Me Too business. Someone else is doing the business, so you want to be the one that is competing. You want to use your competitive advantage as being the lowest, as charging the lowest. That is the worst way to build a business. You have to be able to charge correctly. Ask yourself, this product, how much did it cost me to make the product? Okay, when I calculate all the expenses and when I add all the taxes that I have to pay and everything that comes on top, how much am I making how much do I want to make as profit? This. And then you create your own price based on that, not based on what everyone else is charging.
There will be other competing outside factors that will affect your relationship. Like you have an issue with your partner, the first thing you do, you run to your friends, you run to your sisters, you run to your peers to get advice.
We have weak men out there, and there are men who are weak in all areas. So probably talking to somebody else about your sexual experiences in bed might have been their way of getting the other woman. I don't know. So I will not sit and defend that.
Masculinity is the nature of a man. Do we create nature?
Even as we say that the boy child is under siege, we need to ask ourselves, how have we brought up this boy child that we're talking about? Is it the Kababa generation? As long as it's the Kababa generation, we will always have problems.
That is very important. Otherwise, you're going to run out of business and you're going to go into bankruptcy.
I'm interested to engage further with Victoria, because she earlier on talked about feasibility studies that people have to make. And now you come and you say, yes, a business is not a business unless you have a consumer of the product or service. And of course, here and there, those nitty-gritty issues. So, Victoria, I want to start a business of, selling secondhand clothes. What should be my appropriate approach?
Okay, so I think the idea of secondhand clothes, first of all, has been used so much. Honestly, like it's. I think if we're gonna give an example,
and handbags, please, because Nduko was selling handbags.
Let's do handbags, not secondhand clothes. Those ones, hey, apana, that is
handbags from Turkey.
Yeah, handbags from Turkey. So the thing is that you look at the product, you find, okay, this is what I want to sell. They have really amazing handbags. They sell them at this price. My shipping costs will be this and that and that. You look at all these things, but then you go and analyze your markets. Now, your markets, you have a few questions to your consumers, and you start out by the people who are close to you. You have a sample. Every time you want to start anything, have a sample with you. So you have a sample, push it around the people who are closest to you, first of all. If if you're very courageous, you go out to social media, which is a really great platform to be able to ask questions, like have surveys on social media and ask people, you know what, this is what I want to bring in. Would you buy this? Of course, you don't go out there and place your products already there once it's in the idea stage. And then another thing that I'm not so conversant with is patenting your idea. This now goes into other greater ideas. However, I know that there's certain products and services that don't require patenting because they're not brand new ideas. You understand? With brand new ideas in the market, you really need to take care of your idea by patenting your idea. Now, I have this handbag. I ask my people, would you buy this? How do you think? What are the changes that you feel that should be there? And so on and so forth. And then you build your market and you see that, you know what, this could actually be a brand new, a great idea. You look at your competitors. Part of feasibility again, you look at your competitors. Who are the greatest competitors within your niche or your area? The area, what is your target? Number one, what is your target audience? What is your target market? What is your target group? And once you find out what your target is, then you find the competitors around in your target. So now, what am I going to do differently from what they have? So if they have bags from Turkey, what can I add that can be able to make mine a bit different, a bit more unique? Let's say if I can add something like these are Louis Vuitton, these Louis Vuitton bags that have this scarf on it, yeah? So I add this scarf and make it unique, yeah? It's usually something very small, but something very, very unique that brings customers from your competitors to you, which should make them think, okay, you know what, this is actually very beautiful. This is actually something that I want to go with. Therefore, I want to go with this person's product. So in that way, you stand out. And like Elizabeth said, please do not ever, ever place your competitive advantage as mine are cheaper, mine is cheaper. You see, what value? If I am bringing value to you, then best believe whatever my price is, my consumer will take. If I bring something valuable into the market, my consumers will partake no matter, well, of course it doesn't have to be a crazy price, but no matter my price, my consumer will come into, because that is what we focus on. How valuable is my product? How valuable is my service that people come up? Services for people, if I do a massage, for instance, if I'm bringing a massage parlor, how are my massages?
I'll be your first client.
If I'm coming in with a massage parlor.
Yeah, because the first word there is if.
Exactly. So what exactly am I doing different? How am I doing it different? Am I bringing in welcome drinks? Am I giving an extra massage if you come after 10 times? I give you a free massage. Things like these can be able to place you at a higher level, to be honest. And it might be small things, but to be honest, you might actually see that a lot of people come into that. Nyanduko, if you're selling bags,
before you just put in Nyanduko, I want Nyanduko to also help me out and understand this, because Nyanduko, Vicky has mentioned about the extras. Is this the reason why men in Zimmerman cannot take 2 weeks before they shave their hair despite COVID having happened?
Wow. Now, first of all, I'm not a man. So, okay, I was shaving my hair some time back, but not because of the extras. But there has to be something, the oomph. What is that thing that will bring people back to over and over again? I wanted to mention something on longevity, and then I think Vicky mentioned it in another way. So you have to think about the long run. What do I want? Where do I want my business in the next 1 year? Ama kama ni business yenye kabisa, you'll not see how when you think about business, you don't see it in the next 1 year, then you shouldn't be doing it. So the easy extras, what makes you stand out from everyone else, is actually very important, Eddie. So you actually have to figure out what is it that will make, selling handbags. Everyone could sell handbags. Everyone could get their handbags from Turkey or whatever. Everyone could, but what could make yours different? You could ongeza that kachupa ya sanitizer there, because now COVID, you could, just good customer service also can make you stand out, because you could have the best handbag, but like they have said, have something that is you in that business, something that that someone cannot find anywhere else. Like hata ukiambia mtu aende to any other massage parlor, they will prefer to go to Vicky's because labda kuna VIP treatment. Ukimwambia kuje kwa yangu labda tunaongea kikisi huko kama staff. Anyway, I think I've answered your question.
It depends. You just have to market and give your product in a way that I'm able to consume. Being a CEO is not a joke, because we are all CEOs on Facebook, right? So we want to take some comments from the viewers' perspective. Of course, if you're engaging us, this is Art in Heart. I'm your host, Likuyani Eli, and right bottom my screen is...
Right below Eli is Nyenduko. That sounded so wrong. Hapa chini kwa screen is Nyenduko 254.
Studios. We're going to take a short break, and right after that, we are going to address these matters when we discuss power. Where does money come into play, and where does success come in? This comes right after this short break. Why is it becoming a common trend for Black Africans to feel like their skin being lighter? It's more interesting.
The rates at which people are bleaching are getting higher and higher by day, because society has said what should be beautiful and what is not beautiful,
It boosts your confidence. So that is what most ladies think.
I saw the challenge that you posted. A black Porsche, a white Porsche. Not many people like white cars. Like black looks more sexy, black looks beautiful. So fair skin, black skin is also fair skin.
But when we come to casting these strong black women, we want to cast them for security guard roles. I don't know what ideas we're driving.
You start having different, like Nduko said, there's some places that don't even bleach. I am tempted to think about some other places as well.